Welcome back to Talk of the Town. We are talking design now, and who better to do that with than Bob Wyro, who's with Project Home, one of our news partners, and Dana Langrek with Bella Domicile. Lots of design knowledge in this room right now. So I want to start talking about universal design. That's kind of our big picture topic, and I've already picked your brains a little because I'm so curious about this. But let's just do the big picture. What is it? What are the benefits? What are the goals of universal design?
So universal design is kind of a movement that started in really in the 90s, but it's becoming more and more pronounced or more involved. And it's that homes and environments should be accessible to all. So that includes aging in place, people with disabilities, but also the general population. So if we make a no-step entrance for someone, it makes it a home, for instance. It makes it accessible to someone in a wheelchair, but also a mother with a stroller.
You bet.
So,
there's lots of reasons that somebody might want a home that way, just for your own purposes, and then potentially for resale too. Let's talk about the sort of design elements that would be found in a home that has universal design.
Sure, a lot of times we're looking at different materials that would be used that would make it safe for all people to be in a space. Looking at a lot of lighting aspects, making sure that somebody can see very well in their home and do their daily functions. A lot of times, especially in bathrooms, we're looking at making sure that we're making them especially safe, thinking about bathing and using the toilet and making sure that people can stay in their homes as long as possible and do those daily functions.
Okay, so talking a little bit about some of the aspects of the home, lighting is obviously important, as you mentioned. Finishes of products, too, something I hadn't even thought of when it comes to universal design and making it more accessible for people. Why are they so important?
So like Dana mentioned, we certainly want to make it so people are less likely to slip and fall. So night lights are really important. Also, as we age, the lenses in our eyes tend to discolor just a little bit. So we need a little bit more light as we age, and also some of the blue light with our circadian rhythm is important too. So
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then finishes, I imagine, too. You want to make sure you've got surfaces that aren't too slippery and things of that nature.
And reducing glare as well. So making sure that a space is comfortable, because it's difficult to maybe maneuver through a space if you've got a lot of glare coming off of shiny surfaces.
There's so much you have to know. Wow. So you are also a certified kitchen designer, and I'm sure you use universal design in kitchen remodels, but I'm thinking bathrooms, because we've kind of touched on that a little bit. What about kitchens?
Sure, a lot of times it's making sure that appliance placement is set up so that there's convenience within the space. Looking at storage, making sure that not everything is too high or too low, making sure that it's accessible for all users. Sometimes just even contrast of materials. A sink being a different color than the countertop can help somebody that maybe has low vision be able to see the difference between the edge of the countertop and where that sink starts.
Sure.
And again, coming back to the glare of the materials, picking out things that are not quite as shiny. Also looking at, is there a space within a kitchen that somebody could sit down while they're doing their food prep, not necessarily just for eating, but also when they're preparing their meals. We've got a lot of safety issues as far as appliances go, making sure microwaves are at comfortable heights. Putting a microwave above a hot stove is not necessarily ideal, and so we're always looking at making sure that that microwave is going to be in another location to make it safer for everyone. Wow. Knobs on front of ranges to make sure that those are at the front rather than reaching over hot burners. So there are definitely a lot of safety aspects within a kitchen that we take a look at.
A lot more than I imagined, really talking about. I'm picturing a microwave being up high and they're trying to pull down hot soup or something. That really could be quite dangerous for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Bob, at Project Home, your kind of experiences in the execution of some of these design elements. So how do you use these to adapt to a given project?
Sure. Well, every project's different, and we want to take a good look at what the home environment is, the people who are living there, the people who are visiting there. And since we're working primarily with existing housing stock, it's always, what if we're redoing a bathroom, for instance, even if the client doesn't want grab bars right now, we'd like to add the grab bars in the shower, put some blocking in for a stool or a flip-down bench in the shower, something where we can plan for the future.
Wow, Really smart. Okay, we got to head to break, but are there a couple trends in technology we can touch on quick before we go?
Sure, there's a lot of lighting that can be incorporated inside cabinetry. We've got a lot of low glare countertops available now, a lot of matte finishes, grab bars that don't look institutional that we incorporate, cabinetry hardware that makes it accessing all of the cabinetry very easy for people, even voice activated accessories that can help people that might not have the mobility that other people do.
Gosh, this is why you need an expert. Goodness gracious, so much that I learned today. Thank you for sharing some of this with us.
Thank you.
Again, we've got Bob Wyro with Project Home, Dana Lingrek with Bella Domicile. You guys are great.
Thank you.
For being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. We've got more for you after the break.